Hello. Okay, so we're recording our tea time chat, Kevin.
Yes, we are, and very appropriately, I've got my the show must go on mug. So that will
Well,
serve us well.
I've got lovely, colourful parakeets.
Very good.
But we're both holding mugs, and we have been talking about rapport and matching. And here we are, matching, both drinking a nice warm cup of something. In this little session, we just want to be talking about pacing and leading.
Mm.
Done matching and mirroring.
So we've talked about the idea of rapport and the fact that rapport is something that's liked by both parties. It opens the communication channel, and it's a process. Therefore, once we understand what the component parts of the process are, we can do it more consciously if it's not there already. If you find that you are very naturally in rapport with somebody, you don't need to think about it. Wonderful, if that's what your outcome is. But if it's not working well, then this is where the rapport building skills come in. So if you get that feeling inside that lets you know that rapport's not there, then you can switch into conscious brain and think, okay, what can I do? What can I match? Is it something in the physiology? Is it something in the tone of voice? Is it in the words? Is it all three? So that's the gist of rapport, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And the reason we want to get in rapport can be many, but one of them maybe is most often opening those communication channels so that you can open that dialogue, that conversation that perhaps enables you to help someone change their mood, make other choices for themselves, just to take them somewhere else from where they are at the moment. And that concept of taking someone from where they are at the moment to somewhere else, either in emotional state or in their thinking style, is a leading process. So you pace first in terms of building the rapport. So then we have the communication channel open, and then I might want to lead someone somewhere. I may want to help them move somewhere else. And so that's where we start to try out things and notice if the other person is coming with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the best example of that would be in terms of somebody's mood state. So if it suits your outcome, maybe a joint outcome, for the other person to be very enthusiastic and very upbeat and energized, and you walk into their room and they're the complete opposite, they're sort of lacking in energy, a bit lethargic, their minds may be somewhere else. For you to jump in and model the enthusiastic, oh, this is great, this is, it's a complete mismatch, and that's not going to be very effective. It's much more effective if you can step into where they are at that moment in time, as Shelley Rose Charvet uses that term, go to their bus stop, meet them where they are, and then build rapport. So in other words, you're doing the matching first of all. If then you want to get them to a place where they are more upbeat, more energized, the idea is that you gradually take them there by leading. So the first bit, the matching, is the pacing. So to pace somebody, you match. You keep matching until you believe that there is a level of rapport established. And then you test out that level of rapport by leading them. In other words, doing something else. And then if they follow, then you've still maintained that rapport. So that's the process that we're describing, really.
And again, it's something we see very much naturally occurring. Some of the things you might spot in a meeting, when we have face-to-face meetings, or even on a Zoom meeting, someone might yawn, someone might smile, when people laugh together or start laughing, then someone else does. That's a natural leading sequence that happens again because we're social beings. So what we're going to look at is just share that simple diagram, Kevin, that sort of shows that process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And perhaps we'll share a little bit of an example that might be a bit counterintuitive for people in terms of use of that.
And illustrates things very well. So in this example we've got on screen now, we are saying that the person is displaying low enthusiasm. These are the things on the right hand side as I'm looking at it. So you pace them on the left hand side, you match their level of low enthusiasm. And you keep doing that until you believe you've got that level of rapport established. And then you may up the game, as it were, in terms of enthusiasm. And if they come along, so you're leading, they follow.
Then I follow.
Yeah, you still got that rapport. If I lead, if I up the game again.
And then I up the game again because I'm following your lead.
Yeah, yeah, and then eventually I'm going to that level which was what I wanted in the first place, of high enthusiasm. And if we've still got that rapport, then you'll come along with me.
Yeah, as straightforward as that. A simple pace lead, follow my leader is what we're putting into play here, and it can happen quite naturally.
Now, a good example of this that we've often shared is, and again, this can, as Rita says, can be counterintuitive, but the example of an angry customer. Now, if I was an angry customer and I was coming in and I was sort of shouting and bawling and raising my voice, and maybe the language was perhaps not what we would want either, then there is a school of thought that we don't subscribe to necessarily, that says that what you should do is to
There.
something like,
it's okay.
yeah.
Calm down. Let's calm down. Let's just take it easy. But what's likely to happen with that approach is,
if I'm the angry customer and I'm faced with that, which is a mismatch, yeah, then what's happening in my mind is I'm saying to myself, this person does not get how angry I am at this moment in time.
Just calm down. Can we just calm down?
And I might be kind of seething inside, and it might actually take me to the next level, a higher level. Because why is that? Well, because I've got to now demonstrate a higher level of anger and frustration in order for them to get it in my mind, because they're not getting it yet. Yeah. Now, it's much more effective, we recommend, if I'm the angry customer and I come in and I'm saying, God, I bought this the other day and this is terrible. This is absolutely shocking. I'm disgusted
I
at the
hear what you're
service.
saying. Let me just hear. I listen to what you're saying. You brought this. You're very angry. I can hear that. Tell me what happened.
I'm really angry. This is the worst customer service I've ever had. And this is the worst product
I can see that you're angry. Let's just understand what happened. I can hear that you're angry. Now let's just help me understand so that I can do my best to help you here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you get the idea there that what Rita was doing was to match my qualities of the voice, the volume, for example, maybe slightly below, but kind of getting there, which is the point. The level of animation that I was displaying physically. Now, so the question is, what can you match? And so it was matching physiology and matching qualities of the voice. What Rita was doing, whereas I was about problems, what Rita was offering is solutions, which is a mismatch, but that's fine, because what I'm picking up on, the most important part of that communication is coming through her physiology and the qualities of the voice. So as far as my unconscious is concerned, she's matching me, she's getting me, she's understanding me. What I'm also then picking up is she wants to move it forward and be in solution mode. Yeah. Now, the idea then is that gradually, and it may take a bit of time, but stick at it, that you're matching, and then once you've matched it, then you can lead it, in this example, by dropping it down slightly. So volume, level of animation comes down. If the other person comes down, then you drop it again, and so on, until you can start having a conversation at this level.
Yeah, and feedback from people we've shared that with is how well this works. So it's a different approach, but it's just taking the principles of matching matching those things that it's safe and comfortable to match, and then gradually leading in terms of toning down the anxiety and bringing someone to a place where you can have a conversation to see how you can genuinely help them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think
Just a final thought, Rita, on this one as well, is that when we talk about pacing and leading, it also applies to groups as well. So
definitely.
if you're the person who is a facilitator, trainer, public speaker, or whatever, again, same principles apply. You are gauging the where the group is at, and you are matching them, and then moving them somewhere if that is your outcome. So if you want really high levels of energy and enthusiasm and you come in and the group's completely at the opposite place, much better to go to where they're at and gradually bring them up, rather than sort of, confront them with the high energy at the beginning.
And
Or the same applies in terms of calming them down.
yeah, and again, that can be counterintuitive. When you want a group to be high energy, perhaps you go in with that high energy. It's reading the group, reading the energy level, and then matching. And then you can start to lead them to where you want them to be.